So welcome to the class of today. We're dealing with lesson 20, one of the key lessons. And so this is the Daily Miracle class. And the lessons are given on a daily basis. You can send them, let them be sent by email, or you can just read them on the website or Instagram. And so that's one way to get in touch with them. So what are they doing? So the first 50 lessons is really a mind training, systematic mind training for the undoing of the way that you are used to thinking as a human being. And that starts with lesson 1, like nothing I see means anything. And so it's like what Joel would say, like beyond mesmerism. Looking beyond mesmerism, not being fooled by appearances. And so that goes on and on and on. It's about time. I can only see the past, lesson 7, and it goes on. So it's like a real beautiful succession of all kinds of lessons that are so made in a way that it really undoes the way that you were used to thinking in a very systematic way. And so today, the title of the lesson is I'm Determined to See. That's key lesson 20. I'm determined to see. So this is already something that you want. So that's already totally different with the first lessons that we used. And so something is being presented here. I want to see, yeah, but I'm using my eyes and I see, right? And what is this then? How can I see as it is being described here? And what does it actually mean? Or what is this vision that's being talked about? You want to know what that is in order for you to know and recognize it in yourself that you can do that. And not as some kind of... it is not really like, okay, now I'll put on different glasses and then I can see better. No, this has to do with how you are seeing, not what you are seeing. So how are you looking at things? And is there a different way to look at things? And not to see the things different, no, but to see everything in a completely different light. What if you didn't know anything about the things you see? What if you could let go of the meaning that you gave it? How would it be if this was the first time you saw things? Just like you see a baby looking at something, it's like just completely open and receptive. So this comes a bit in the direction of what we're talking about. It's like seeing things without the past that colors it, or your associative thinking that works with it, that you already know that the cup is there to drink from and that it would drop or fall apart if you would drop it. So to start with the first paragraph, that is really, say, containing the key lesson part in it. That will give you information about what is going on here in this lesson. So today we use lesson 20, and I also want to go to chapter 30 and 31, just simple paragraphs, but these paragraphs have everything to do with vision. That's why I love to use them. And then there's a beautiful prayer lesson, and that's in the, say, after the 220 lessons, you have probably around 120 say prayer lessons, miracle prayer lessons. So one of them I will use too in this class. So enough material to work with, because it's like the way this Course in Miracles is made is like a whole message. So whatever part you take out of it will really like represent the whole. It will always refer to wholeness and oneness. And that's why I love to work with it. And that's why you start to recognize it. No matter where you open the book, it is always just right, just for you to hear in a way that's really speaking to you. This is of course my experience with it. So starting with the first part of... see, now there are different books. We use the book, the Urtext, but there's also like a blue book. I got one here. There's the blue book. This is quite... No, well, you can't even see it. So there's the blue book. And the Urtext is the less edited version of the blue book. So, and that's why I love to use it, because it's like very original, very close to the manuscript. So lesson 20 is on page 299 from the Urtext. And the Urtext you can download from the website, or you can buy it, whatever you want. You can see it on the website, you can find it on the website. And it's a great book, just because it's like amazingly complete, with all the references to Bible and to even to the blue book references. Beautiful. All 7 volumes are in it. Okay, so I'm not selling them though. Don't think I'm selling them. So here we are. I'm determined to see, lesson 20. It is like a classic, really. It's like the one thing that you want to walk around with. I'm determined to see. That's what you take with you during the day. I'm determined to see. So we have not lost sight of the crucial importance. So this is halfway the first paragraph. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced, and if you give in to resentment and opposition. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it. It is an effort to exert force or pressure. No, it's completely voluntary. You can choose what you want to do, how much you want to do it, and if it's too much, you stop and try again. You want salvation. You want to be happy. You want peace. You do not have them now because your minds are totally undisciplined. And you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart. And great indeed will be your reward. So I do one more paragraph and then I stop. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. Do not mistake the little effort that is asked of you for a sign that our goal is of little worth. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and He is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all power is given Him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see is vision given you. See that? You don't grab that immediately, probably. You know, it takes a moment to let this settle in. So I will not say, I want to invite you to read this for yourself too. So especially the 3 paragraphs after the first, because it holds the information that we actually want to say feel or experience. And so vision was one of the things that come up, like the themes that come up, like admitting that you don't know what to do, like how to be happy, what difference is between pain and joy, what the difference is between, what was the other one? Like sorrow and joy, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You don't know the difference between love and fear. So these are basic fundamental understandings that you have about yourself, that you think that you know what the difference is. You know the difference between fear and pain, fear and love, or pain and joy. You seem to know the difference, yet that's not completely true. So the Course always brings you to the place where you can decide, no, I already know this. or where you decide, I have no idea. I'm open and I will receive this, what is given. I will try to allow this to come to me. See, and the last attitude is very helpful. So that's my invitation to you too. It's like whatever comes up as resistance, as ideas like, yeah, what is this all about? I don't trust it. See, that's just what your mind does, responding to something new. And so that's, you also know that the mind can be convinced of something, like it can receive something by you being open, or by you maybe 4 times saying, no, I don't like this, but the 5th time suddenly you're open to receive it. See, however you use this in yourself, in your own mind, however you use this, it will work anyway. It really does not matter if you resist the idea, or if you accept the idea, or if you understand the idea. And all of this, you can read that in the introduction too. Like, all of that does not matter. The thing is that something is happening to you, and that's like, this is really working you. This Course in Miracles is working you. And that sounds a bit scary maybe, but it is actually not scary, since this is also part of you. So here we are, practicing lesson 20. I'm determined to see. So apparently we don't know what is the difference between fear and love. And I can accept that idea. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, so teach me. I'm curious. I really would love to know the difference, because I don't want to have any confusion about that. Since I know that I'm an extension of the love that I am, I want to see that and experience that. So, and also I want to come into the place in my mind where I can see things instead of being confused about things, or wondering, or being concerned about things. Like, vision comes with a clarity, with a clear mind, with clarity, with no confusion whatsoever. See, with your human mind you will never be able to do that, because you're never completely clear. And especially in the way that, say, you think with your human frame of reference, it is more that you always look for a gray area, for a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's like a bit of a middle of the road kind of way of thinking. And this is not that. So this tells you that love has no opposite. So whatever is fearful cannot really exist. Whatever is fear cannot exist. Only love is real. So this is essential. So we go say to different aspects of this. So one other thing that I would love to share with you is this. The salvation of the world is mentioned. It's like, okay, so can this goal be said to be small if it's about the salvation of the world? So here is a big shift that is, say, announced. It's not really completely spread out on the table, so to speak, but it's announced. Like, there's something that's going to change, and that is the way that you think about yourself. Say, you can think that there's something outside yourself. You can think that something is doing something to you. And you can think that there's a world out there that determines how you have to live your life. So the salvation of the world is the other way around. You recognize that, oh my God, I'm the center of this. Like, it's literally starting with me. I'm only seeing the world that I see. And this world is based on my judgment upon myself. This world is based on the way that I think that this is. And admitting that you actually don't know is a real help. Is really helping you to see, like, oh, there's a different way of looking at this world. And because the world that I made up has no reality. I literally made it myself. It just does not exist. And deep in your mind, you actually know that that is true. Like, you know how things shift and change in your world. One time it can be this way, and the other time it can be the other way. It's like there's nothing determined. It is all like on the basis of change. Any idea that comes to you, you can accept or reject, whatever it is. It's like that is like not based on truth whatsoever. It's based on ideas that you think are true, and you knit them together, you put them together, and you create a world out of it. And a world based on past references. And this is something that, you can no longer do this way. If you want to wake up out of this, like if you want to come to vision, you cannot keep doing that. So because you come to the point where you say like, okay, so I have no idea how to look at any of this. Let it be revealed to me. Recognizing that I do not know anything about what is actually going on in my life. I was convinced of my ideas about it, but it actually dissolved in this moment. And what if I try to see it in a different way? What if I apply this lesson and see that it actually works for me? Or that I just feel happy for no reason, or that I see that things fall away, that I held on so firmly for a moment or for longer. It is like as if you have been in a deep sleep and suddenly you wake up out of it. It's like, oh my God, I really didn't know I had a choice. You know, in the situations that you find yourself, suddenly you discover you have a choice. It is not what you think it is. The situation that you're in is not the way that you think it is. So it's different. And have that be revealed to you, because that gives you the opportunity to come out of situations and suddenly experience freedom of a whole new kind, and like in a whole new way. So that's quite a shift, and the salvation of the world depends on you in that sense. We see that in a later lesson too. So it depends on you. So you cannot call yourself then a victim anymore, or thinking that something is caused by someone outside yourself. So that's why the theme of forgiveness is so there in the Course in Miracles, because you actually start to forgive your perceptions, your ideas about how everything was, what anyone did to you, and all this. If you recognize that you did it to yourself, then why wouldn't you want to let go of it? And that's a real great way to clean up your backyard, so to speak, with memories, with situations that you still carry with you, with old ideas that you hold on to for no reason. And all of that is totally, it's going to be cleaned up for you. So the only requirement for you then is to apply this lesson. And in the lesson 20, you do it like maybe 3 or 4 times in the day for a minute or so. And you just do what it does. Or you keep repeating the idea, I'm determined to see. That's one way to do it too. It's like, I'm determined to see. I take that with me as a response to everything that's occurring around me, which I really don't know anymore if that's really true, that there's something around me. But here we are, we practice this. So that's the only requirement, that you apply the lessons as they are described to you. It's like as they are given to you. That's the only requirement. That sounds really simple, and still it's an amazing training to keep doing that on a daily basis and see, oh my God, I can't believe that the continuity in it. It's like, oh, another day, another lesson, another theme. Like, wow, there's so much that can be done. Like, amazingly productive I get by just doing this. And productive in the sense of awareness. Suddenly I remember, oh yeah, I'm determined to see it, and I don't know anything. I have to, I can say I can allow myself to be open to receive what's been given, to receive a vision, to see everything in a whole different light, just by taking time to stand still and do this. So I promised to use some of chapter 30, and that's the Savior's vision. And it's a beautiful paragraph. So I'm going to use this one right now. It's on this page 31. It's chapter 31, sorry. Chapter 31. I can see if I can find the page because I printed it. 31G. Yeah, here it is on 281 G13. The Savior's vision is as innocent of what your brother is as it is free of any judgment made upon yourself. It sees no past in anyone at all, and thus it serves a wholly open mind, unclouded by old concepts, and prepared to look on only what the present holds. It cannot judge because it does not know. And recognizing this, it merely asks, what is the meaning of what I behold? Then the answer is given, and the door held open for the face of Christ to shine upon the one who asks in innocence to see beyond the veil of old ideas and concepts and ancient concepts held so long and dear against the vision of Christ in you. I love this. So I'm reading this again, just one of my favorite things to read. The Savior's vision is as innocent of what your brother is as it is free of any judgment made upon yourself. It sees no past in anyone at all. So you see here the first 20 lessons completely like summarized in just this short paragraph. The Savior's vision is as innocent of what your brother is as it is free of any judgment you made upon yourself. This is also the commandment, love your neighbor as yourself. And see, to dive deeper into what is actually being shared is like the Savior's vision is as innocent of what your brother is as it is free of judgment made upon yourself. So that is like, take time to let this, say, affect you. Because we're talking here about your innocence and that of your brother. And to see that and to really feel that is a incredible experience. So it's good to take time to let these sentences affect you. There's a pearl in it, it's really like, first of all, like you bring it back to yourself by, I'm not judging myself either. I cannot judge my brother, and I'm not judging myself either. So the fact that I have that as an instruction for myself is so loving, it's so loving. And it can take a moment before you really get what this says, or before you really start doing that. Because the temptation to love your neighbor but not yourself is great, it happens a lot. Okay, you love your neighbor but you don't love yourself. You think that you need to sacrifice or whatever you want to do, like in relationships. No, to love my brother is also to love myself, and also not to judge myself and my brother. So the innocence is one of these, say, whole ideas that are being shared, just like love, innocence, honesty, say, all that, light. So that is what's been given here. So, yeah, you can open yourself up to receive this. That is the invitation. And thus it serves a wholly open mind. See, it serves a wholly open mind, because if you already fill your mind, if you fill your mind with ideas, with judgments, then you will not see with the vision of Christ, or you will not see the face of Christ. So it's like you want to see the face of Christ, you want to see your brother and yourself as whole. So it's like, well, then the consequence of that, if you want that, then you should be doing this. And don't judge anymore and all that. So it serves on completely open mind, unclouded by old concepts, and prepared to look on only what the present holds. So prepared to look only on what the present holds is like, yes, we have been practicing this, and this has been done to us. Like, we did the exercises, we are practicing meditation, we stand still, we open ourselves up, we come to deeper and deeper experiences of ourselves. This is how we are prepared for vision. It cannot judge because it does not know. It's like, I have no idea how to look at any of this or what to think about this. No idea. In that way, I'm actually open to receive it. And recognizing it merely asks, what is the meaning of what I behold? Or what I'm actually looking at? What is going on here? And then the answer with a capital A is given. And the door held open for the face of Christ to shine upon the one who asks in innocence to see beyond the veil of old ideas and ancient concepts held so long and dear against the vision of Christ in you. So that is, to bring it back to the lesson, it's like, I'm determined to see. So that's great that you're determined to see. That's great. That's lovely. It holds something, like there's consequences connected to it. And that is like, don't judge. Don't think that you know. Be open, And also, it's like, the last sentence showed me something. It's like old concepts and all that, ideas, let them go. Old ideas from the past, special events happening in the past that you still take with you against your brother, it all can go. Like, in order for you to see, you will have to let go of that. Old ideas, all of that. Like what we continuously practice with meditations, like, leave your concepts for what they are. Leave your feelings for what they are. You don't have to suppress them. They are allowed to be there, but you let them go. You don't do anything with them. Same with your thoughts. You just let them be. Don't engage with them. Don't follow them. Don't validate them. Just let them be. See, in this way, we're opening our mind, literally, to receive and to have being revealed to us how our brother really is, or how we can be in communication by being with our brother. We can recognize our common source by just leaving everything completely open and actually starting to communicate to one another. Like minds communicate. That's why we join. That's why we're here in class. Like, minds communicate. So that is this way. But if you think that there's something in between, that it doesn't work for one or another reason, then it doesn't work. But if you're open, if you forget about all your ideas even about your spiritual path, thinking that it takes time or that it's difficult or who knows what you think about it, if you leave that all behind too, then suddenly you have a possibility to just spontaneously communicate. And that means that you directly feel presence. Feel presence of your brother, feel presence of one another. And seeing that there's just really like one thing going on. and not a lot of things or different things outside of you or anything like that. It's like, no, in the core, in the center of that, there's just one thing happening, and that's communication. So that is totally different, and you cannot imagine it. You can experience it, yes. It's the one universal experience that joins us. So in fact, this is the invitation in this class, in this lesson. I'm determined to see. So that holds a lot, like literally the salvation of the world. Because no matter where you go, you take this with you. It's like you have your whole awareness with you. And who are you going to meet? That's just you. You're meeting yourself. You'll start to recognize yourself wherever you go. So that's so lovely. I love that. I love that, the way that's being shared here. So we continue to H, chapter 31, and that's also very sweet. That's why I used it too. So that must be page 282. Yeah, 282. You don't want to miss this. So this is really like, pay attention. Look at this, what's being shared here. Deny me not the little gift I ask, when in exchange I lay before your feet the peace of God, and power to bring this peace to everyone who wanders in the world, uncertain, lonely, and in constant fear. For it is given you to join with him, and through the Christ in you unveil his eyes, and let him look upon the Christ in him. My brothers in salvation, do not fail to hear my voice and listen to my words. See, and that's what we do in the other class, the I Am class. It's like, timeless truth, I speak to you. So this is really such a moment, like timeless truth, I speak to you. That's what's happening here too. You can feel that. So my brothers in salvation, my disciples, it's like, do not fail to hear my voice and listen to my words. I ask for nothing but your own release. There is no place for hell within a world whose loveliness can yet be so intense and so inclusive. It is but a step from there to heaven. So, and here's the sentence. To your tired eyes I bring a vision of a different world, so new and clean and fresh, you will forget the pain and sorrow that you saw before, And you will forget the pain and sorrow that you saw before. Absolutely beautiful. I ask for nothing but your own release. There is no place for hell within a world whose loveliness can yet be so intense and so inclusive. It is but a step from there to heaven. To your tired eyes I bring a vision of a different world, so new and clean and fresh, you will forget the pain and sorrow that you saw before. So, and the fact that that is available to you right now, it's like, no, you just have to want it. It's like, if this is the only thing that you want, it will be given. And that's where the determination comes in. It's like, yeah, above all else I want to see, it's like, that's lesson 21. It's like, above all else I want to see, or lesson 24, I don't know exactly, but it's like, yeah, here's your determination, important. But see, you cannot fool yourself in that either. So it's like, don't force it on yourself that you have to see this or have to do this, because that's not going to work. So that's always with the lessons too. So like, you got to take it easy. It's like relax. It's going to be given to you, and it doesn't need to take time. If it does take a little bit of time, that's all right. So don't put pressure on yourself. But feel tempted by the incredible loveliness that is being, offered to you. Feel tempted to step into that. And also, like, don't be afraid to lose yourself for a moment in it. See, all these aspects are really part of a deep experience that will come to you by doing this. Because it's so lovely, and it's true. You can feel when you read it. When you read this out loud, it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So that's what I would suggest too to do. Is like read it out loud and slowly, because then the words can really come to you, can really touch you. All right, so let me see how we are doing. So we have some time. So I promised also to use one of the miracle prayer lessons. And that's a lesson that has the idea of vision in it too. And so it is really a good time now to meditate for a moment. So we use this prayer. We have a quiet time for maybe 5 minutes or so. And then we come together in this class. We come together to share how this is going, how this is for you, and what you feel like sharing. But first we will do this meditation, a short meditation. My holy vision, or that's lesson 263. My holy vision sees all things as pure. Father, your mind created all that is. Your spirit entered into it. Your love gave life to it. And would I look upon what you created as if it could be made sinful? I would not perceive such dark and fearful images. A madman's dream is hardly fit to be my choice. Instead of all the loveliness with which you blessed creation, all its purity, its joy, and its eternal quiet home in you. And while we still remain outside the gate of heaven, let us look on all we see through holy vision and the eyes of Christ. Let all appearances seem pure to us, that we may pass them by in innocence and walk together to our Father's house as brothers and the holy sons of God. My holy vision sees all things as pure. All right. Well, thank you so much for being in this class, watching this, and I hope to see you soon.